What's up, doctors? It's Shave TeamWnJ here. Here are 4 more things you didn't know about Arknights. I'm gonna start off strong here and say that you probably didn't know that you could see the recruitment order of all your operators. And the way you do this is by setting your assistant. So let's say Warframe over here. I'm gonna hit this little switch toggle over here. We're gonna go switch assistant. And on the top here, you can actually sort by acquisition. So if I sort it like so, you can see that my first operator ever was Amiya. And as you can see here, the first high rarity operator that I ever got that wasn't the pity system or from the free tickets, Warframe. The best. You know what else is the best? You. For watching this video and giving it a thumbs up. On that note, it is actually possible to get a 5-star for your first ever bag. So if you remember, you probably don't remember this, but in the beginning of the game, when you first start your account, the game shows you how to open a recruitment bag, right? So that's called the tutorial bag. That one usually comes after Yato. That bag is forced to be a blue bag or higher. Most people, we get 4 stars, like I got a Shirayuki on this account, right? It is actually possible for your tutorial bag, like the first free bag that you ever get, that tutorial bag, it's possible for that to be a 5-star. Eric got Franca, I got Meteorite on my Taiwan account. And if you want to see how lucky you are, just go check your acquisition order and see what comes after Yato. Are you one of them blessed luck sacks? Let me know. Did you get a 5-star and who was it on your first ever tutorial bag? Number 2. Now, I don't know whether the stage is active today or not, but if you go to Contingency contract, it is possible to buy everything in the CC store. This is before CC1 has been released. As we're recording this video, CC1 has not been released. We just finished Barren Land a while ago. Pyrite is gonna come out like in 2 weeks or something. While Barren Land was running, people were like, oh, you can't buy all the stuff from the CC store. Wrong. If you go to Training Grounds, as long as the map says Broken Path, or Shattered Avenue as I like to call it, unless you've already done the training version of Shattered Avenue, you have not gotten the training points for Shattered Avenue. Shattered Avenue is the perma-map for Barren Land. Yes, we've all done the perma-map, sure. But you probably haven't done the training version of the perma map because it was not available for training during when CC0 was running. So when you see Shattered Avenue show up here for training, which I think it's on a Tuesday. I'm pretty sure it's on a Tuesday. Get that done. You get some additional points. You can clear out the store if you want to. Alternatively, hold on to these CC points because when the next CC drops, you can just immediately spend these points to buy some good shit. Hello, I'm from the future. The me that you were just listening to was like 2 months ago. CC Pirate is now over and CC Blade is about to start in about 2 weeks. I want to clarify that the training map is for the perma stage of the current CC. So because CC Pirate is just over, the training map for Pyrite Gorge is now available, and most of you guys probably have not done the Pyrite Gorge training map. Do that and you will get extra rewards. Same for CC Blade. Once CC Blade is over, the training map for the CC Blade perma map should be available. Do that on training as well and you will get the extra rewards. Okay, do you guys ever look at some of your stages and go, okay, well, I've completed everything and everything on challenge mode, what do I do now? Then you go on to practice and you take a look at your friend support and you see some units that you don't have that you would like to, try out because they're fun to use. Well, that's great and all, but what if I told you that you and your friend who you borrowed the support from actually get a benefit from it? And it doesn't cost you any extra sanity. First, I'll tell you the process of doing this without using sanity first, then I'll tell you what reward you get afterwards. So if you go into your missions menu and you take a look at your daily missions, one of these tasks, right over here, one of these tasks you can see is clear any stage using a support unit 1 time. Now, if you're farming regularly and you're just using auto-deploy, you're not really gonna have a chance to use your friend's support units, right? Now, of course, what you can do is take off the auto-deploy and then borrow a friend and then clear the stage that way. However, I don't like the added risk of using a unit that I'm not familiar with and then having the possibility of messing up and then losing sanity. So there's actually a fail-proof way of using your friend's support credit without costing or wasting any sanity, and that is to go into the contingency contract training area. You can actually complete the contingency contract training even with the support risk enabled, even if you do 0 risk and just the support risk, and all you need to do is borrow a friend support unit here, whatever unit you want, and clear the stage that way. You can use as many friend supports as you want, so I could literally use every single friend support on my entire list here, and every single person here will get the benefit. Alright, so now I've talked to you about the process, let's talk about the rewards, and I'm gonna let myself from 2 months ago handle this one. All we need to do is go into the store, we go to the credit store. And I'll bet you didn't know about this one. You click on the little F over here, the little currency icon, the friend credit icon, and it will show you credit will be granted the next day based upon the number of times you used your friend support units and the number of times your support units were used. If you use your friend support units, it will give you 30 credits, up to 30 credits a day. If your friend support units are being used, that will give you 20 credits, up to 20 credits a day. So don't put garbage up on your friend support units. I had a friend put an E0 army up top as well as castle and land set. That dude got unfriended real fast. He also probably never got those 20 extra friend credits. Okay, so what should you put on friend support? Well, I have a few criteria myself. I think the most important factor is how high level the unit is. If a unit is not E2, I would instantly disqualify them from being on friend support. Unless you're just beginning and you don't have that many E2s, you know, that's fine. If your account looks like mine, you should not be putting E1s on your friend support. The second thing to consider would be masteries. So say for example, my Helliger, right now he's at M1 for skill 3. M1 on his skill 3 literally gives him an extra block of range. The difference between skill 7 and M1 is massive. So if my Helliger was not at M1, I would not be putting Helliger on my friend support. Same goes for something like Swords, for example. There are certainly some units that don't really matter for this. Like say for example, if I was putting Warfriend skill 1 on, Warfriend skill 1 at skill level 7 is perfectly fine. Of course the M3 one would be better. So if I was choosing a friend support and I didn't have a Warfriend and it popped up 2 different Warfriends from 2 different friends and one of them was M1 and the other one was M3, obviously I'm gonna go for the M3 one, right? But when we're talking about units like Warfriend, not many people M3 the skill anyway, so it's fine. When we're talking about other units like Shamir, for example, Shamir's M3 a lot of people do. Right? So if it's a common unit, even though Shamir's not really that common, right? If it's a common unit and it's supposed to be M3'd and yours is not M3, people probably aren't going to choose it. The next factor I would put into consideration is whether the unit is in the starter headhunting or whether they're recruitable. So if they are both in the starter headhunting and are recruitable, it's not really a good option to put on friend support for me. So Silver Ash, Saria, Silver Ash and Saria are the 2 big ones. Basically everyone who is playing high level in this game has a Silver Ash and a Saria. Some specific people do not level their Silver Ash or do not level their Saria, or they may not have them, but those people usually they intentionally go out to find friend supports, you know, people who do put Silver Ash up. So for you, if you're changing your friend support, putting Silver Ash up there and Saria up there is not really going to help nobody. If they're just on the starter headhunting but they're not recruitable, like Angelina for example, that's a pretty decent option. If they're not recruitable, not on the starter headhunting, like Aya Fiala for example, that is a pretty good option to put up. Another factor to consider is how common the unit is. In typical Arknights fashion, if it's a male character, usually it's not that common. So Helliger, even though he's so great, he's actually not as common as say Swords. Especially because Helliger's banner on EN came first before Swords, so people saved up for Swords and didn't roll for Helliger. Same goes for Phantom and Shamir because the W banner was right after that, so people didn't roll on Phantom and Shamir. So putting your Phantom up, putting your Helliger up, that will typically get a few more people borrowing your units than say putting your Reedy and W or your Swords up. The final factor to put into consideration is uniqueness, right? So we have a whole bunch of meta units here, right? My team usually consists of meta units because I'm free to play and I don't want to level up some whack unit because I don't know whether it will actually help me play or not, right? But if you are a paid player, you might have a bit more leeway to level up some odd units. So say for example, Bibik. I only leveled up Bibik because I'm using her for CC2. However, Bibik is also a very strange unit that not many people level. Mine's an E2 and it's M3, so putting this Bibik on support is actually very good. Just because not many people use her, she's not that useful per se, but she is very fun to use. You may also be able to play into the waifu factor, however, this is not as great. So say for example, you know, I really like Croissant, but she is really, really bad. I literally made an entire video talking about why Croissant is a scam. For the average player, there is no reason for you to E2 Croissant. There is no reason for you to borrow a Croissant from a friend support. Except for very specific reasons like, okay, one is waifu and the other is if you need the skill 2 for something very, very, very specific. So because there's only 2 reasons for you to ever be using Croissant, it's very unlikely for people to borrow your Croissant if you put a E2 Croissant up. If you want to put a 4-star unit up, you better put a 4-star that is not recruitable. Yes, I know, it took me 8 months to get a Moose and it was still not from recruit. I know it's possible to not recruit a 4-star. It's just, it's very unlikely for that to actually happen. So basically, those are my main things when I'm thinking about who to put on friend support. Are they high level enough to actually be useful? Are they rare enough that not everybody has them? And are they useful enough for people to actually use? On the note of friend credits, if you're already set in Arknights, but the only thing left you haven't done is your base, level up all your dorms to level 5 because you get friend credits depending on your dorm level. So if you have all your dorms at level 5, you get 200 additional friend credits a day. All right, let's talk about clues again, and 2 things you didn't know about clues. Yeah, I'm lumping in 2 things here. There's actually 5 things you didn't know about Arknights. Maybe even 6. I don't know how many things I've talked in this video already. When you open up your clue search menu, let's say I want a clue 2, for example. What's the best way to have my friends send me a clue 2? Now, for me personally, when I'm giving out clues to people, I look for what clues they don't have. So for example, DGen Scum over here already has a clue 1. I'm not gonna shoot him an extra clue 1 he already has. I'm gonna find a clue 5 for him, right? Which means that when other people try to send clues and they look at their clue sending menu, if they see me and I don't have a clue 2, they're more likely to send me a clue 2. They're not likely to send me a clue 1, 3, or a 7. Yes, even if I don't put them up like this, even if they're just like the little orange diamond just flashing, even if it's like this counts as me having the clue. When my friends look at my friend menu and they see it's Chafe over here, it will say that I have a 1, 3, and a 7 despite me not putting it as pinned. Which means that if I want more clue 2s, if I want to stack up on clue 2, right, I'll go to my clue received menu. I will choose everything except clue 2. I will choose the 4, 6, and a 5, so that when my friends check my friend menu, it will say that I have every clue except a clue 2, which will prompt them to send me a clue 2. And because all my friends get to see this, I'm probably gonna get a few friends sending me clue 2s, like this one that I just received, like this one that I just received, or this one that I got yesterday, right? Like so on and so forth. Okay, but what if your friends are shit and they don't send you the clues that you want? Then you gotta rely on yourself to find the clues that you want, right? Okay, quick question. Do you stick 12F into your clue search? Because you look at it as like clue search speed and increased by 20%, and then you compare it to like Astasia or something, and it only has 10%. So your brain goes, okay, well 12 has 20%, that has to be faster than Astasia. If there's anything you want to learn from this goddamn game, is that Arknights has this communication issue, that it does not convey its message clearly to its player. That's a lie. Astasia and Firewatch here that does 10%, they are faster than 12F, okay? Utage, who does 20%, is faster than 12F's 20%. You want to know why? It's because rarity and level affects the clue search rate, but the game never tells you this. So what does this mean? It means that 12F, who's a 2-star who cannot be E1 or E2'd, is doomed to eternally be stuck at 20%. However, people like Utage and Astasia, who can get E1 and E2, will first of all get the level bonus for being at E2, and second of all, they get the rarity bonus for being 4-star and 5-star. How can I prove this? Well, the game's not gonna tell you anything because it's fucking Arknights, right? So you gotta rely on Gamepress.gg. I will link this page in the description so you can go check it out yourself. But as you can see, this is the hidden information. So here, 6 stars get 10% extra bonus. Operator promotion level, E2 gets 16% bonus, which means that our good friend Angelina here is not getting 10%. This is 10% plus 10% plus 16%. This is 36%. Istina here gives us 10% by default. That's 9% because of a 5-star, so that's 19%, plus an additional 16%. 12F, however, is a 2-star. He's stuck at 5% at E0, so he only gets an additional 5%. Even 12F is not actually 20%. 12F is 25%. This here is a chart that shows every single operator of the clue search ability ranked by how effective they are. And the most effective one here is Chen at E2, which will give you 51% faster clue search. Second one being Astasia, third being Red. And I'll let you check the rest by yourself by clicking the link in the description. Hey, while you're down there, give this video a thumbs up. It helps me perform well on the algorithm. And also make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you get notified every single time I upload a new video. Cheers!